Hello, welcome to my latest video. I'm going to be painting quite large again like I did yesterday. Again, this is 24 by 20 inches and it's got a nice couple of layers of burnt sienna on as an underpainting. It's got quite a few lumps and bumps on it. It's an old painting I've painted over again. So just quickly establish a horizon. That's the beauty about painting. If there's a painting you don't like, just go over it. It's one of those paintings I did like once upon a time, but yeah, I've kind of grown out of it. So yeah, just a bit of oh, mine's gone blank today. Payne's grey and sap green for the horizon. Just going to put some titanium white on just to create some clouds. It's just with my little 1-inch flat brush. Yeah, I was chatting yesterday about Northumberland and the Farne Islands, and and then I remembered something funny which happened to me. And we were staying at a holiday cottage at, I can remember the name, Criston Bank near Alnwick, and it was a row of cottages, and it was owned by the same people, and they're all holiday cottages, so they're all identical. You know what you expect with holiday cottages. You know, a beaten copper fireplace with a row of flying porcelain ducks above it, and a ceramic pack horse pulling a cart. If anyone remembers them, yeah, back in the 80s. And yeah, we stayed at Criston Bank, and we'd only just really got there, and for some reason I was emptying the bin in the kitchen, and you know, got the bin bag and took it out the back. Just this back yard, and all the yards were communal. It's like all joined, it's run by the same people, and put the bin bag into a metal bin, and then went back into the kitchen and sat in the lounge with the beaten copper fireplace and the porcelain ducks and everything else. And my dad was sat reading a newspaper. He'd obviously, you know, emptied the car of all the luggage and other paraphernalia, and he was just sat reading a paper, which I thought an odd thing to do. You know, he just arrived on holiday, he was sat, you know, in front of the telly in the lounge reading this newspaper. And you know, he were behind this big paper. You know, you could see his fingers and his legs were crossed and everything like that. And a golden retriever came into the lounge, and I can see it now. You know, like bloody yesterday. And I said to Dad, "We haven't got a golden retriever." And this man, who I thought was my dad, lowered a corner of the paper with his left hand and clocked me. And I leapt, and without saying a word, I leapt up. It was like Fred Flintstone trying to run away. I leapt in the air and I just flew out of the house, just ran next door into the actual cottage we were staying in. But the worst thing was, we'd only just got there. I had to spend 2 weeks next to these these poor people. Oh God. Yeah, my life's a catalogue of incidents like that. Oh, yeah, I remember my mum saying, "Where have you been?" uh, yes, there's one other similar occasion. We went to, where did we go? It was a carvery. Um, it's the moorlands yeah, it's on the moors. So it was outside Chesterfield and all that sort of thing in Derbyshire. And we were sat at this big table because there was a load of us there. We sat at this big long table and we're having a carvery. And we just got there. We got settled in the seats and stuff like that. And we thought, we'll go up and get a carvery. Now, everyone on the table pretty much went first, and I went last, and quite polite like that. And queuing for my carvery. And there must have been about 12 of us there, perhaps even more than that. And so everyone got the carvery and all started sitting down, tucking into it, and I got my carvery. And always takes me a while because I have everything. And I have a lot of mustard, so I was there piling mustard on and stuff like that. And I went to sit down with my carvery. And, started tucking into it and putting on, salt and pepper and all the other paraphernalia, and started tucking into my carvery. Excuse me. And I looked up and I didn't know anybody. And it was all different people. It wasn't my family. And they were all looking at me, with the forks up to the mouths, just with mouths open, thinking, what the bloody hell's going on? And I, again, Fred Flintstone moment, Barney Rubble, I got my carvery and legged it. And what had happened was, now my family always bloody laugh about it, always remind me about it. It wasn't my fault. I was queuing for the carvery, and at some point, all of my family decided to move tables without furnishing me with the information that they'd moved. So I sat down and with this different family on the original table who'd since occupied the table we had. Yeah, just took it into my carvery. Yeah, I probably asked them at one point, would you mind passing the applesauce or something like that, the salt and pepper. Oh God. I sat there a while before I realised eating my carvery. Yeah, family always laughing about it. Every time we get together. They always remind me. Yeah, funny. Looks like a giant bird in the sky. Big chicken. Anyway, yeah, banging on. And I think we're 9 minutes in and have a painting already. Yeah, but that bloody Hardy cottage, it was funny. Yeah, it was at Criston Bank. It was just down the road from a lovely pub. The pub was called the Blink Bonnie after a famous racehorse. It's a nice pub. Good food. Yeah, I do like Northumberland. Some very good times there. Used to go every year throughout the 80s and the early 90s. For 1 year, we went to Ireland, which was an incredible holiday. If I had the money, I'd move to Ireland now. We were on the west coast. Astonishing place. Yeah, there was when we were in Ireland, there was a pub and just a little hamlet in the middle of nowhere, and my dad got talking to an Irishman with a beard, and he invited us. He was a fisherman, and had a little boat. It was a speedboat he had. He invited us on this boat to do a spot of fishing, and yeah, he didn't want anything for it initially, anyway, and we went on his boat, and yeah, it was a bloody speedboat, and we were absolutely gunning it, and yeah, it was incredible. We stopped, well, parked up or whatever. I'm not a seafaring man, but yeah, parked up, and there was this fin cutting through the water. All it was missing was the Jaws theme tune going, and there was this fin just past the boat, and as the fin was passing, the man picked the fin up and just pulled it onto the boat, and it was an enormous sunfish. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I'd heard of sunfish, and I always thought they were equatorial, down in the tropical waters. But this thing was massive, and little eye and little fins and things. It was just incredible. If you don't know what one looks like, look it up. And we sat there with the mouths open, and we lowered it back in the water after a couple of minutes, and it just shot down, deep, deep, deep. Obviously didn't want to hang about. It was an incredible experience, that. Oh, board nearly came off my easel then, as it does sometimes. I get a bit excited. Yeah, it's coming on nicely. I'm quite pleased with that sky. Yeah, it's lovely round Ireland, round Galway, and Clifton, places like that. Stunning place. Friendly people. Even though it was in the middle of troubles and we were obviously British, they were still very nice. There was one occasion something had happened to the car. It broke down in the absolute middle of nowhere. Oh, flipping heck! Bear with me. It does me Sweden this. Excuse me. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, we broke down near this pub, and the pub was deserted, and we, well, my dad or somebody knocked on the pub door just to see if we can borrow a phone, and this lady answered, and the pub was empty, it was deserted, it was shut, and she went, sure, come in. Yeah, I can't do accents, can't do Irish voice, but she said, yeah, come in, and we went in, and she let us use the phone, and she got us a drink each, and also we had dinner. She turned on the kitchen, all the fires and everything, and we had dinner. Very nice people. Yeah, restored me faith in humanity. So yeah, we were there in the pub having, fish and chips and whatever I was having, and we all had a drink, and Dad had a pint, so we were happy. Oh, Gordon Bennett. I do apologise. It does me Sweden, this. Yeah, I asked Santa wife last night if I could have an easel for Christmas. She says yes. I'll still keep this easel. I love this easel. I use it for outdoor stuff. I'm gonna get a studio one that's a bit more rugged. Yeah, it's coming on nicely. Not too bad. Do like that sky. I've gone down similar lines as yesterday with the sky. Going to make it quite low key so it's not too distracting for the foreground. I just put a few swirls in with my rake. Some quite pleasing green has gone into the sky there on the right hand side, which does work. Totally by accident. This could be anywhere. It's all in my imagination. Yeah, it was a heck of a bloody journey to Clifton. So we got the ferry. Well, obviously we lived in Derbyshire. We drove to. Well, Dad drove. He did all bloody driving to Holyhead, and then we got the ferry, which was brilliant. I love ferries. I love ships, boats, anything like that. Love the sea. And went over to Dublin, and then we had to drive the whole width of Ireland, and it makes you realise how bloody big the place is, how big Ireland is. We drove right to the centre of Ireland, to Athlone, and then drove all the way to around Clifton area. But yeah, I do like it. So rugged, and so remote, some of the places. And just by chance, it was 2 weeks we were there. It was the nicest 2 weeks. It was just constant sun. The person who owned the holiday cottage said, they haven't had this in 10 years of continuous lovely weather. Because the coastline gets absolutely battered off the Atlantic. Far worse than Wales and places like that, because Wales tends to get protected by the landmass that is Ireland, but on the west coast of Ireland it's just completely unabated gales and everything like that, because all the trees are just leaning over. Every single tree you see is leaning because of the gales. But yeah, it was hot and sunny the whole time. Yeah, it's doing nicely, this. Yeah, one year we went to Yorkshire and stayed there. Went to Whitby and all that stuff. I'm not going to try not to bore you to death with my holidays. Yeah, if you ever go to Northumberland, you must go to some of the castles and stuff there. And the big stately homes. One of my favourite castles was, oh, I've got so many. Dunstanburgh Castle is one, just on the coast in Northumberland. Absolutely incredible views. Um, There was the other. Warkworth Castle was a good one. And Norham Castle, those three. We always went to those castles whenever I went, never got bored of it. And yeah, one of my favourite places as well. Like, no, it's not a castle, it's a battlefield. But it was Flodden near Brangston, up on the Scottish border. Yeah, I think Battle of Flodden off the top of my head was about 1509, I think, something like that. And Scottish invaded with, I think it was King James IV of Scotland, and 10,000 Scots died at Flodden. It's a very moving place. Yeah, it's definitely worth a visit if you do go to Flodden. It's a good place for private reflection. And I like if you like history, you'll like Berwick upon Tweed. It's another amazing place. But anyway, I'm off again, banging on. Yeah, this is coming on nicely, I think this. Those bits of blue in the sky help. A lot of people for the sky they do a blue background and then put the white clouds on top, fluffy clouds, but I don't like doing that. As you can see, I've just got a couple of patches of blue up there, and it kind of blends with the rest. I don't bother painting the old sky blue. But anyway, that's just my way. This isn't a tutorial. Just me painting and harping on about stuff. I'm still learning. Yeah, it's getting there. Thank you so much for all of your likes and your comments and stuff. It really does mean a lot. And don't forget to subscribe. And as well as YouTube, you can see me on WordPress, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and jonkid.co.uk. Yeah, I started doing a blog when I was studying photography, just to tick a box, if you like. It was a digital research tool, and I carried it on. So I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I've been doing my blog for about 3 or 4 years, I think. Keep it regularly updated, or as regular as I can. Excuse that beeping noise. Trudy messaged me. I was just texting her. Just made a funny noise when I sent the message. Yeah, I think we're nearly there with this. I'm just going round with my rake, creating a bit of drama, a few textures and shapes in the sky. Not bad at all. Yeah, near Flodden Field, the battlefield there. It's not far from Coldstream. Coldstream's a nice town. There's an amazing museum there, the Coldstream Guards. And there's a castle. Well, there's two castles. There's Ford Castle and Eatle Castle. It was one of them. I think it's Eatle, off the top of my head, where on the side of the keep there's a great big bloody hole that's since been blocked off, you know, at some point in its history. And I think the English, I may be wrong here, but the English held this castle, and when they realised the Scots were coming, they had to get moving quick. And it was either the Scots or the English, so bear with me, I can't remember. All the cannons were stored inside this keep, so they had to smash a great big hole in the side of the castle to get all the cannons out fast. But yeah, it's amazing to be there, you know. But it must have been bloody frightening during the battle and the run up to it. It's been horrific. Just a rugby scrum. Yeah, you know, the troops at Flodden, it was Scottish pikemen. The place turned into a quagmire. They had to take the shoes off to try and get a purchase on in the mud. A lot of them drowned in the mud, were trampled to death, including James IV, who died. And at Branxton, I think it's at Branxton Church, if you go in there, there's you can see where the English soldiers sharpened their billhooks on the church's pillars before the battle. But yeah, it started with an artillery duel that lasted a long time until the Scottish thought, right, sod this, and advanced down the hill and were just torn to pieces. think we're nearly there with this. We're getting there. A few little finishing touches on this sky. Yeah, on the anniversary of not Coldstream, of Flodden every year at the nearby town of Coldstream, they have a big commemoration to commemorate the battle, remember the dead, and they have they have a big procession in the town and the pipes and drums of the Coldstream Guards there, and the hundreds of horses, they all ride out to Flodden, have a bit of a service on the hill at Flodden, and then come back. And it's always a big event, quite a carnival atmosphere. And it was 1991 we went there and we saw this procession going on. It was brilliant. The reason I know it was either 1990 or 1991 because it was then that it would have been 1990 that there used to be a lot of jets flying about around Northumberland, and they're all in desert pink, ready for Operation Desert Storm and Operation Granby. I remember seeing the Tornadoes and the Jaguars and stuff, and the Buccaneers, all in desert pink. So yeah, it would have been the summer of 1990. Few little finishing touches with this horizon. I quite like the black sky on the right. Oops, a bit of accidental white gone in there, still on the brush. But yeah, it kind of works. Yeah, not bad at all. It'll do for me. Very nearly there. Last few details going on. Whoops. A few could be buildings and things or trees or whatever you like. Yeah, nearly there. I'm getting that feeling that we're done. Instinctive feeling. Yeah, quite pleased. It's turned out nicely. Right. Yeah, this painting could easily be Northumberland or somewhere in the Peak District. Could be anywhere. Yeah, we're just about there, I think. That looks just about dandy. Not bad at all. If I can prise myself away from it and leave it alone. I don't want to overdo it. I think we're there. Yeah. Oh, there's a couple little bits up here. Yeah, I think that is jobs are good and quite pleased. It's just every time I think I'm going to finish, I see something else. Yeah, I think we're definitely there. That looks just about dandy. Come, come on, John, leave it alone now. Leave it alone. Yeah, I think that will do the trick. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.